Hey everybody, we're gonna jump into a best of one Throne of Eldraine draft here. It is Friday, November 1st. We are licking our wounds from a rough day yesterday, but it was only rough in results. You know, if we really look at the decks we drafted and the way we played, it was all pretty solid. You know, I don't think I had a single codified punt. You know, there was no point at which 4 people gave me the old exclamation point punt. And as a nuts and bolts spike, I have to remember to measure myself primarily on that, or I'll go crazy, right? You can really get down on yourself, but you really just have to be assessing your play step by step to understand where you're at with your game and where you have places to improve. And so, despite the poor results yesterday, I'm in good spirits. And I'm also in good spirits because I'm sponsored by Card Kingdom. They're a wonderful local game store, and they're a wonderful online Magic retailer. If you need anything for your physical Magic game, you should check them out via my affiliate link down below in my panels. That gets them there from my stream, which helps me. And if you need anything for your physical game, though, you're going to be totally pleased with your transaction. You're going to get a great price, you're going to get great service, and you're going to get things well packed and shipped. Like, feels like they have time machines at Card Kingdom with how fast your orders can get there sometimes. But they are just ready. They're ready to jump on your order and get it out the door. And it's that level of consistency and speed that's going to make you a repeat customer with them, like me, if you give them a shot. And I want to thank them again. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Now let's spend some of our free gold here and see if we can turn it into some gems. We're looking at our, gosh, 17,900. We're practically in the poorhouse. Ooh, hello. Now that is a way to start a draft around here. You all know I frequently take the rare almost no matter what it is, and when it's a murderous rider, we slam it and just take a quick look and see if what we think might wheel, because we go, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's not much good is going to wheel. Maybe the Sanctuary or something. Or if the didn't say please wheels, we know how the bots think of that. Like, this is how you end up in blue. Like, this ought to be like one of the top 5 cards taken out of the pack, and it will probably wheel. All right, nice job, Nantuko. Yeah, didn't say please is a likely wheel, so we should keep that in mind as we make our choices here. We could pick up Tome Raider, but with Murderous Rider, pick 1. I think a Deathless Knight is a fine second pick. It's effectively a 2-color card, or it goes into 3 decks. You know, heavy black, heavy green, or green black. But I think the power level here is worth taking over something flexible like the Broom, or something kind of generically mid-high like Tome Raider. Well, we have a Murderous Rider, so I'm pretty enamored by this Lucky Clover. The Once and Future is also nice. Secret Keeper is here. We might wheel that, so we can keep in mind potentially a black-blue Secret Keeper deck here, but we take the Clover and try to build around that. But this being here gets my radar up, especially if we get that Didn't Say Please from pack 1, and or was it pack 2? Anyway, the Didn't Say Please comes around, the Secret Keeper comes around. We'll be happy to abandon a Deathless Knight to be a more blue-focused mill deck, but let's take the Clover. Covetous Urge would slot right into that blue-black mill deck. The So Tiny, likely to wheel. Reaper, we all love the Reaper. Even Hat loves the Reaper now. I heard him say so. Hat's like, Reaper's the best black common in the set. I don't know why he said that. Like, it's not the best. Geez, Hat. But I don't know. Those of you saying Reaper, like, Covetous Urge is pretty darn great. And it is, but Reapers go later. We can get some Reapers from here. Take Covetous Urge, and we'll get Reapers later. I know we got the Clover too and everything, but Covetous Urge is incredible, and Reapers go late enough that I don't feel compelled to leap for it right now. And if we end up not playing this, even that's fine too. Like we could take out muscle here and lean back towards the Deathless Knight side. Spinning Wheel, Spinning Wheel is flexible, but like we've taken it early at times like this previously, thinking, okay, Spinning Wheel is solid, but then we don't play it. Like if we're not gonna actually ramp to something, I don't know how good it actually is. So I kind of like the either don't risk it and take the So Tiny, or take the out muscle and continue to straddle what it is we're doing here. Because another thing that could happen is you could end up with a 12-5 black-green type split and take the out muscle and still play the Covetous Urge. Yeah, I'll take the out muscle because I think the So Tiny is likely to wheel because that's the bots. So let's put the bots to the test here a little bit. Take the out muscle, stay a little bit open as to what we're doing besides the black, and then see where it goes from here. Here, we are taking the So Tiny though. All right, this is a really interesting spot, folks. I'm gonna have to pull this one because we have a Carver that goes along with the Clover and the muscle. We have Didn't Say Please that goes into the mill deck if we're expecting those mill things to wheel. And there's also Paladin, which is nice, but I think given the Clover, it's either Carver or Didn't Say Please. I like the Paladin, but the presence of the Clover puts the Carver over the top by just a little bit. So I'm going to pull, and if you think Paladin is correct, just vote Carver. I'm curious mainly to see whether people are interested in leaning blue or black here, or blue or green here. So I'll say please and carve. Oh, sorry, I messed you guys up with I should have just done Carver, but I was trying to come up with shorter words, but saving one letter just confused some people. Sorry about that. Did it cancel their votes? Let's see if it's close anyway. A lot of people want the Carver. Okay. I think we're gonna regret this if I take Carver here, but this is a win stream. If we mill and win, I'm taking it. But I'll follow chat to the carving. Anybody? Yeah, I think this is pushing it, but all right, I'll blame you later. Yeah, I hear you. This is a close pick. I do think the Clover puts it over the top, though, if we're going to do that. Although, knowing that there was a second one coming, maybe not. Maybe we take the fruit here. We'll take the fruit. We're certainly black, so we'll take that. And the Sanctuary came back. That was one of the... But was this where the Didn't Say Please was? Or is it the next one? Maybe it was the Sanctuary, but we'll take Sanctuary here over Squire. I'm still hedging on the possibility of blue. And Squire's imminently replaceable. Fenner wants the Squire. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's fair. All right, he's right. And we'll take this 2 as well. Hengewalker. I'll take the Halberd, but I don't love it. Here's the So Tiny. And Spider actually becomes pretty important here if we do pivot towards the, if we stick towards the green-black. And hey, I don't mind. Hey, look, for once a Secret Keeper didn't wheel. Did they update? I don't feel like I updated the client. Did they change the bots? All right, well, that's good. It gives us some clarity. Probably not playing the Urge, although We could still be heavy black, although the Squire and stuff starts to say we're probably not going to play the Covetous Urge. But I'll keep everything here for now. But looking like we are green-black. And we have Fabled Passage for the rare draft. But in this case, Keeper of Fables is one of those cards for me that I think could make it close enough that I want to just take the card for the deck. This card can take over games, and that's what I'm looking for out of an uncommon over a rare, is something that's not just a good 1-for-1 or a good solid threat, but no, this is an engine card that can take over a game, and that the keeper definitely qualifies. But let's yeah, we should keep in mind we need some 2s and 3s here. We're getting a little thick at the upper end without this content we want to see at 2 and 3. Acolyte helps a lot with that, so we'll probably go there. I like that over the familiar. Yeah, I want the cat. I don't think I want the kitty here. I'm just so on the kitty anyway, even if you do get the oven, and the Acolyte's exactly kind of what we need, I think. Oh, that's true. I could have rare drafted there as well. We might have wheeled that. Oh, this is an interesting pick. We got a Reeve Soul, a Revenge, and a Witch Stalker all jumping out at me. There's an egg, of course, but it's not going to rise above these. As we've noticed, even if we don't play this, you can call this a 2 of sorts, but let's get out of blue. I don't think we're in blue. Raven, too good to pass. The meta has settled in a way that I no longer think that's the case. Both the bots pick up Ravens high enough now that you don't get 3 or whatever. You don't get every Raven in all the packs because they stack so well. And a single Revenge is just okay. It doesn't beat... Mill doesn't care at all. Mill laughs at your Revenge of Ravens, and 5/5 green commons for 5 also laugh at Revenge of Ravens. But here, I'm gonna with that I am gonna pull this. I think this is an interesting one because there's 3 choices. We have Revenge, we have Soul, and we have Fierce. Oh, did I not? Oh shoot! Hold on, let me redo that. I put in an extra comment. Hold your votes. Hold your votes. I do that sometimes. I put the accidental comma after the number. All right, here we go. Try again. No Revenge yet. Nobody wants the Ravens. I've talked it down off the table, apparently. Triple Fishy still wants Revenge. It's a totally valid pick, I think. You know, so this is why it's such a tough one. Interesting. Fierce, I would have gone with, I guess we're not that thick on 4s, so that's pretty reasonable. I was going to take the Reeve Soul, but I'll take the Witch Stalker and blame chat. Here we have another opportunity at a spinning wheel, but we also just have an Enchanted Carriage, which is a pretty strong 5. And I think that's got to be the pick here. Just super solid. And we don't even have anything going on at 5 or anything, so it's not like we're crowded there. I don't think we're heavy black enough to be considering an elite headhunter, so that just leaves us with Tracker or Skewer. And Tracker, we have some humans going on here. That's a zombie knight. That's an elf druid. Swarcat spider. Maybe we have enough. If we wanted to feel like we were aggro green black, we could, but probably just the Skewer. If we get enough of these, though, we could end up pretty aggro. Maybe too late to be that aggro with this deck, though, especially with like Spider and Acolyte. Like, we are just kind of going bigger. I'm going to take the Skewer. Here's a Reaper that I was hoping to get access to. Here's another Paladin, though. But with Lucky Clover, I think we just have to take the Reaper. Sadly, I'd like a Paladin. I think Tracker is certainly playable if you're being the aggro beatdown green deck, but I don't know if we are close enough to that. I'd be curious to know if the #1 Mythic player felt it was just generally great or great in some specific strategies. Yeah, Reapers go a little later, but with Lucky Clover, I've already passed on one Reaper for I can't even remember now, but it made sense at the time. But I don't want to pass another one. I want to be sure we get a Reaper or two in this deck with the Clover. That's not guaranteed. Right. The pass for the thing that's now on the board. But again, I stand by that pick. I like my reasoning. And I'm not ever playing an... I don't think we're playing an Eye Collectors. And Hengewalker is just okay. I mean, we could use more 3s, but I'm going to take the Drawbridge. Like the Rider here over a second Spider. We could take first Festive Funeral. I tend to barely see this card because it's so not great at being removal. Except all we have for removal right now is like the Rider and Outmuscle. I guess that's not nothing. And yeah, this is so miserable, right? It just doesn't do what you want it to do. I think I think we're better off with Rider as removal than Funeral as removal. And yeah, we do need foods, but we'll get there. We'll find our food, I think. Well, we'll take this Tracker, see if we end up in this direction. I don't like the Hengewalker unless we're like monocolored. I'd like it a lot better at like 3. Like I think you could shave a full two mana off that thing and it would still be just good. I just hardly ever play the Prophet when I'm playing green and black. Like I don't need a Prophet. I'm gonna at 7. I'm gonna play a 4/5 instead. You know. We are here. Let me update the info so people know what's going on. We are best of 1, which can change your assessment of the pheasant, but we'll take it and consider it. Here's yet another skewer. I mean, I could take a weapon rack. I don't think we're ever playing 2 skewers. I'll take a weapon rack just in case. Like, my skewer count, I want it to be 0 or 1 at most. Yeah, Thought Erasure is just, well, it's the new Thoughtseize, right? It's a little better in that you get to play 1 land before you get your best card and the central piece of your opening game plan removed from your hand. Yeah, Lash is probably grudgingly playable enough to take it there. Here's a Reaper, hope we wheel, but we're gonna, I don't generally pass Mythics. I really want this Order of Midnight, but this is a Mythic. We're not going to play this. Let's see. We only have 1. Actually, if we don't think we're going to complete Mythics, it's less important to Mythic draft than to Rare draft. The thing is, I don't think so. This won't necessarily produce gems for us because we won't necessarily 4x Mythics. The odd part is, like, maybe I'm just trying to give myself a reason to take the Order of Midnight, but if we don't end up with 4+ Circles of Loyalty, we haven't actually extracted gems from it. So I'm going to go with the order this time. Too strong with what we're up to. Here's a paladin we could take. We could take a kitty on spec, but do I hear about the Oko the Gathering on Wikipedia? No. I know I passed a mythic. I don't think I've ever done that on stream before. Intruder with Clover is cute, but I still don't even like it. You're still waiting to get to 7 to make... I just don't know if that's what we want to do. I'd rather have another Reaper and play a Reaper on 7. Yeah, I think we take Paladin here, though, for this deck. It's kind of exactly what it needs. And it's a Giant Knight, too. It's not human, so it triggers the Keeper. Hey, look, we could have had two Revenges. We'll take this one, and I guess we run it. I mean, we're not taking anything else here. We take another Rider, but that might wheel. No, missed on Diamond, Robert. Probably not playing the Jousting Dummy or the Drawbridge at this point. Cookie is not getting pumped enough. Like, I want multiple reliable... Like, if we had a couple of Tree Folk, then I would consider the Cookie, but we'll also probably get that on the wheel. I'm going to take Revenge here. We'll play a Revenge. Ooh, now we got to take 2 Revenges, right? Over the Foulmire Knight. Ooh, but Foulmire Knight is an adventure. I'm going to pull this one. This is tough. Revenge or Knight? It's got to be one of those two. The question is which. Stacking Revenges is super powerful, but we have the Lucky Clover for the Knight. Wow, this is a landslide by my expectations. All right, Chad, I'll follow you down. Man, I was saying you don't get 3 Revenges anymore. If we had taken all the Revenges, we'd have 3 Revenges. I know, right? But it is true, though, that no matter how many Revenges you have, they're all terrible against Mill. So it is high risk to run a bunch of Revenges because they're basically dead draws against Mill. So I think that consideration plus the Lucky Clover make that a perfectly reasonable decision. Here we have a Tempting Witch. We got to get in on some food here. We're very light on food. We got, in fact, maybe she doesn't even matter because of that. But Witch Stalker creates some food. Yeah, we could just take a Rider, but trouble with taking the Rider is we don't have a lot of food to make it work, and we're pretty deep on 2s, even if we don't play the Fell. I guess not super deep, but I kind of like the Witch here. That's true. Skewer plus Rider is interesting, but I'm going to go with the Witch. And easy Foreboding Fruit. Well, we'll take a Sorcerer's Broom here over another Spider. I think I just want the 1 Spider in... That's good. I like that, Nintuko. We'll go with that. We'll go with Broom here over a second Spider. And a second Reaper with the last fresh pack to look at. And a Tree Folk and a Forever Young. Tree Folk, if we do wheel one of those cookies, we could run the Tree Folk. But Forever Young is nice defense against milling. But we can also... Yeah, this is another tough one. But the Tree Folk, we're not overloaded at 4, you know, so we could absolutely pretty consistently, you know, have something. Oak and Boon would be nice to have to do against on turn 4. Adding that to our 4s would be good. Yeah, Forever for Mill or Smash Face for Mill, right? That was what the, you know, what some are saying, which I get. So we'll do it. Let's try the Smash Face approach against Mill today. Witch's Cottage could give us a little of that Forever Young action. I don't think I want another Skewer, so we will take the Cottage and then we'll figure out what we're doing here. All right, we wield the Rider anyway. And we can take a Tracker even, and maybe we are aggro enough here. Let's take a look. But I think we take Tracker over these two. I put these two in the board already. We could bring them back if we thought it helped aggro. They always mill your Forever Young anyway. At least we're not playing that. I'll take the Vault Progress. I would take a white common over a colorless uncommon. It's not even that it's like 100%, but I think it's even if you said mill was like 25% of the field, which may be closer to accurate. I think it does make you want to consider that in your picks, but you don't have to be completely driven by it. All right, now we got 5 cuts to make from this. 20 creatures, 8 non-creatures. I liked Revenge of Chat as a deck name suggested by Nantuko. What don't we love here? We can probably cut the Fel as a main deck concern here. Then it gets immediately tough. I guess the question is, are we doing the Tracker thing? And my instinct is no. Set of Words, Carver is fine. Like it's not amazing, but fine. And we do have the Clover that puts it over the top. Non-humans. We'll stack up our non-humans. Oh, that is a human knight. Its mount is not human, but it is human. We're doing great on non-humans is the bottom line. And these are all non-human? Yeah. So most of our deck is non-humans. Now, I'm going to do what I did yesterday to reset this, but I'm not going to accidentally enter the queue, I promise. Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring stuff in. We gotta find cuts. Broom is not too slow in the sense that it is a 2/1 for 2 at its floor. It's more like a curve filler with late game upside. I don't think I want to do the aggro thing, though. I think we're better off cutting that. Yeah, we could even cut the Revenge. I think we have good late game. Yeah, Revenge and Deathless is a reasonable combo, but we gotta find cuts. And I want to keep our Clover options. Like, Carriage isn't necessary, no, but it does feel strong. It does trigger Keeper. Mike wants to just cut the Squire, which if we're saying we're not going to worry about being hyper aggro is a reasonable cut. I want to keep the fruit. I really like card advantage in this format. And I don't want to cut the Paladin, too good. And I do like Carriage. So I'm going to go with Mike's suggestion and cut that. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we're happy to do on 2. That's maybe not quite as deep, and we can order on 2 if we really want for the 6th. Well, we're at 40 now. Here, I'm in deck building. Let me get into deck building. Fenner thinks it's just silly not to play Revenge. So what do you want to do? You want to put in Revenge and cut the Carriage? I kind of feel like it's silly not to play the Carriage. What's our creature count? 17. I don't think 2 Reapers is too many when we have the Lucky Clover combo. If we get lucky, we get to Clover into Reaper, and having 2 Reapers increases those chances. All right, well, if we want to try the Revenge, we can do this. Let's start here, and we'll keep in mind that our last cut was Carriage versus Revenge. Skewer I actually like for a couple of reasons. It can go on things like the Marrowleaf Riders and attack through Secret Keepers. Getting through 4 toughness is an important consideration for decks at this point in the meta. And Giant Skewer has risen a little bit. I don't think it's amazing, but it's risen a little bit for me just because of how it turns ground creatures into things that can bust through 4 toughness. And Revenge is a dead card versus many archetypes, versus 2 archetypes, huge green creatures and mill. It's really pretty good against everything else. Yeah, and Deathless and Skewer is a combo, absolutely. So we're going to definitely keep the Skewer in, even though it can be a little clunky. And I hear what people are saying. There's a reason I cut the Revenge. It's a dead card against some archetypes, but it's also very powerful against others. So we're going to run it. And if we run into it, we'll ask ourselves for data points whether or not we wish it were a Carriage, which was kind of our last cut here. And I'm going to screen cap this and get going. Oh, I didn't look at land though. Let's make sure our land is where we want. I don't think do we want a cottage here? Cottage is pretty loose with 7 swamps. I think we probably just want swamp. And do we want 9/8? I guess 9/8 makes sense in terms of Fierce Witch Stalker, Keeper of Fables, and Garen Brigg Paladin. It hurts us on Adamant for fruit, but we also have Acolyte to try and help with that. So I think this is good. And I'll recapture this. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Glad to have you here. I love playing Magic, and it's really fun to do with all of you. Yeah, he says before rage tilting, and I mean, yesterday I talked about how I hate magic, so you know, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. All right, we'll keep this. Right now, I love magic. Let's see if it let's see if it holds for 3 hours. Yeah, Mike, I'm certainly closer to where you're at than where like Luis was at on his unlimited resources, but I'm okay with our choices here. Well, knowing you're being recorded for posterity has an effect on exactly how I express my salt. Let me just say that when the cameras are off, I'm perhaps not as calm as I would like to be. We could... No, there's no way to end up with 3 black soon enough, even with a draw of that creature. So we're just going to put it on one of these, and we'll go Rider or Broom, and do we want to trade for this tracker? Yeah, I guess we go Rider. Yeah, I mean, right now I don't want to trade because we'd be winning the damage race, but and also one reason to trade though is we have Order of Midnight, so keep that in mind. Mike liked Broom and trade. I'm doing Marleaf Rider, and yeah, I'm going to trade because we can just order soon. Now, we can... so I'm looking ahead to turn 4, where we can do order and say order in one of our 2-drops. And so then my question here is, are we just gonna trade again or offer up fruit? I think we offer the Broom for trade. Depends on what we want to buy back. Yeah, I think we do Broom. We might even buy back the Broom. I'm apparently I'm not on the same page with Mike. Keep playing different creatures than Mike thinks we should run, but we'll see how it works out. Yeah, we can order an order on 4. That would be fine. Just do both sides of this next turn. Yeah, we would need a swamp for that. You're right. So I guess right now we don't have that play, but we have order. We have alert, alter fate, and rider. And if we get another swamp, we can decide. You and your have the right colors of mana. Such technical BS from chat. Yeah-oh. Right. Well, it would matter if I put out the rider. Then we're saying we just want for sure to have Broom in hand. All right, we did not get the swamp. Paladin may end up having to do a trade with the old Lovestruck Beast. Maybe we even wait. Man, now I kind of want to wait and get the Paladin back. Is that crazy? We could just fruit here, make sure we get land for the Paladin, trade Paladin for 5/5, and then get Paladin back. I think I actually like that better. I think the Paladin is going to be great to have back. and Clover. How about we get a bunch of stuff back? And Reaper. I'm going to go with Paladin on this turn, though. They're at 3 cards. It likely means they will draw to 4, play a land to go back to 3, and play 1 spell to go to 2, so we can reap the rest of their hand next turn and try to get this Paladin traded off for the Beast now. Yeah, if we Clover and Reaper, I would do it. But since we can't, I'm going to set up for the future. So far, they're showing mono green. But if they're stuck on a color, they could leave all of this, and if we draw a land, we could go Clover Reaper and just wipe out their hand. Certainly, if they don't drop any of these cards and we draw a land, we'll definitely do that play coming up. Note, we could also draw the Acolyte and execute that play as well. But they've done kind of what I expected, which is at least to drop 2 things. There's the land. I could play the Clover, but there's actually no point here unless we're afraid of them reaping us back. And we can actually go Rider Reaper here. And I like starting on the Reaper and seeing what their final 2 cards are. There's no need to Clover. Clover actually doesn't do anything for us this turn. Unless we... Ooh. Yeah, not a bad... Where's Hat? Now let's actually offer up our Paladin. If they want to race, we can race. But we still get it next turn, right? I mean, I guess you could say if we want to Clover, then we can order and have more mana left over to play stuff. So that's reasonable. But I'm going to go with the Rider. They may be just planning to race us with the spinning wheel tap, which makes some sense. But hopefully we'll get Reaper plus, you know, Rider, and then we can double block the Beast if it comes to that. Maybe they'll use the Cauldron on the Rider. Well, let's go to attacks. I think you're going to tap down the Paladin here, so let's start by having him do that. Oh, really? No Paladin tap. Well, all right. I'm going to keep attacking with this till you do something, Oppo. Even if it's a combat trick here, I'm cool with that. We have the technology. Looks like if I had reaped again, that could have reaped some reward, but, you know, this was off the top. I wasn't going to put him on anything specifically. So now, yeah, let's now Clover Order. Clover Order even. Paladin. And Broom. We're not sacking much, honestly. But Broom has good future potential. Yeah, Broom has... we do have stuff in the deck that could lead to sacking. Rider is a little bit better immediately, but it doesn't really even do anything differently on this board than the Broom does, other than deal more damage if we get to their face, but that's not going to happen, so I'm actually going to take the Broom. And I'm even going to play the Broom if they... Well, no, they have Cauldron to disrupt any of that stuff. Maybe we'll give them the order here. Yeah, the Broom doesn't really threaten to trade, though, is the thing, because of the Cauldron. It threatens to get us blown out, is what it does. Mike's on such a delay. It's like I always like to see if if I ended up doing the thing that Mike suggests when it comes through in chat a minute later. All right. Now we can play the Broom and actually threaten to trade with the Beast, but we're going to play Paladin and threaten to trade with the Beast. That's when they're going to start doing the wheel, though. So if we find another land, we get Paladin Broom, and then we still threaten to trade with the Beast even through a wheel activation. And we did get the land. We could also just play Reaper. We could go for... we don't know what they drew. If we go for their hand here, we only have 3 mana left. I think we just need to play Broom Paladin here. Unfortunately, if they have a cool spell in hand, it's too bad. But I think we want to stack up our defense against this beast. And now, if they don't have the tools to attack into this without a trade, we get Reaper with Reaper behind. And also, if they want to tap something down here, they may strand whatever these cards are in their hand to be able to reap next turn. So I kind of hope they go with the wheel. It just land. Ooh, Outmuscle is pretty great. Do we worry about this? I think we have to just not worry about this. We could, because here's what we could do, though. We could go to combat and see if they want to tap something down, and then that would probably clear the way. Thing is, if we outmuscle first, we get like a free attack with the Paladin after. So... yeah, Freya's doing what I'm suggesting. Like, Freya's saying, hey, just wait and see if they want to do it. But if we do this now, and they don't have anything, then we actually get to attack with an indestructible 6/6 unblock, Paladin, and that's pretty great. So I'm going to risk it here. There's only so many things a green deck here can have. Or it's still not a free attack, because, yeah, they're going to tap it anyway. I still like making him do that, though. And then... do we want to trade off any of those? Nope. Yeah, good point, all. I guess it didn't really matter. Now they're going to tap, and we'll get whatever this is, if it's not a land. Still no attacks. And, you could just run out a Reaper, but I can't not harvest Fear when there's something to get, potentially. Just a land, but I don't mind that. We're going to now be able to play both of these and threaten. Well, now they have a double block on the Paladin with the Rider and the Carver, but that's fine. They're out of cards. We have Reaper, so we're going to offer it up. Yeah, they can't tap Paladin, but they can trade, which I expect them to do, but I think that's fine for us. I still don't want to trade... Why not swing all? Because I still don't want to trade one of these for the human. Let's do it this way. And also, at that point, you know, they could potentially... Yeah, that's the main reason, though. Still not wanting to make that trade here. Although, I guess there comes a point where you just accept it and start swinging with the other one. So maybe you're right, Nick. But that was at least why. But I figure one of these trades off, and then the other one eats this. So this is just going to be a Paladin-based effort here. Or a Reaper-based effort. Yeah, they could have done it that way, but it still ends up being a similar situation. And we're getting a little flooded, but hopefully it doesn't matter here. Mainly, also, I want to find something to get some extra brooms out of the deal. But we're trying to get there on these two now. Make him have an answer to one of the Reapers. Obviously, they have an answer to one of the Reapers, so an answer to the other Reaper that they can't currently answer. We couldn't reset either set. It's either a bug or a change in their system, but most likely a bug. I don't think they're... You know. Alright, they're going to go for a race. And since they can't tap or Cauldron, and gosh, we just keep drawing these, we're going to go ahead and attack with everything now. You got this tree folk that's going to come down. Oh, earlier you couldn't, but you can now. Interesting. Okay. Drawing nothing but land for a few turns, which hopefully won't cost us, but it's certainly not making this as easy as I'd like it to be. Yeah, they can't cast it, can they? We got him on must use the wheel situation. Although they're at a virtual 8 if they eat the food. For whatever... that's still enough to get them, though. And they don't even have the mana to eat food and wheel. I'm going to wait on casting this, because if there's any weirdness, we can finish them off with the fruit. Yeah, this is game 1. Well, we built up enough of an advantage that flooding out at the end didn't matter. The plan A was good enough. So now there's a suggestion that if we quit and come back, we'll be able to spin quests. Let's do that. I think I might... but I just completed the quest I wanted to spin, so it doesn't matter now. Yep. and it does work. So if your spinning isn't working, quit and come back in. We got cheated out of one 500 spin that we could have done if I had done that. Hey, I'm out of a beverage, so I'm gonna take a little bio break. I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll get going again. I'm gonna bring up the deck in case anybody who comes in wants to see what we're up to. Oh, also I wanted to do this. We were talking about we didn't use the cabin. I like putting in a pseudo cabin. So like if we draw this swamp, that's our cabin swamp. Staircase to nowhere is cabin. Anyway, be right back, and if you have any hard arguments for a change, we can consider that too. Be right back. All right. What's silly about my quest completion avoidance, Mike? It's free gold. Ravens is still controversial, but I'm going to stick with it for right now. Good luck pairing Tron. All right, good luck, Tron. You minimize now. Longtime viewer Tron1632 managed to. Oh wait, well I assume it's he's also 1686. That would be really funny if Tron 1632 were different from Tron 1686. Not the same Tron. Yeah, update was over a week ago. I don't think we've seen anything we don't expect. Or like, I don't think there's been anything new on that front. Yes, as long as you don't then use the info to cheat the poor streamer, it's genius. Because of our order and a second rider, I am going to make this trade. Well, let's see. No, that doesn't win the... Trouble is outmuscle on either of these riders isn't going to trade. It isn't going to eat the knight. It's going to trade with the knight. So, and if we block here, the Youthful Knight becomes a 3/2 first strike, which is no joke. But if we can make it to 5 mana, Keeper starts to settle things down. And we can't block this anyway. This is a little rough, but I am going to make the block. The presence of mill is greater than anybody would want, I think, but it's not as oppressive as all that at this point. It's helped, but it's helped. Hey, we saw a Secret Keeper not wheel today, for example. All right, now we just really want to land. Any land, we have only basics, so any land will make us super happy. We get a Witch Stalker down that we can then use Outmuscle to kill this Youthful Knight. Yeah, so tiny, still wheeling. All right, we really need a land now or we're going to get rolled by Tron's Knight deck here. Land, 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 land. One time. Come on, dealer. Here we go. Well, that is an exciting card to see, but we can't cast it yet, and we didn't get a land, so I'm sad. We have to leave the rider back to threaten to block the veteran. We can't trade 3 for 2 at this point. So we could bring back the rider, but I actually don't think that's a particularly useful play right now. We just need to hold out hope for a land and try and survive. And continue to threaten this veteran with a block. Yeah, we've seen Secret Keepers 15th, but they don't 100% wheel, so that's at least good to see. Well, I could use the mana, but what I want is to return like Witch Stalker or Keeper, and getting back. If we do the Alter Fate side, we put a Marrowleaf Rider in our hand and then pass, and then we haven't really done anything super useful. I think, but yeah, but riders don't even matter. They're like, I guess we can double block and 1 for 1. So maybe I should have, because at least 2 riders can block the Youthful Knight, and no, but they can't, right? Because they just both die. So never mind. That's a completely wrong statement. Forget it. I was thinking of them as like a 3/3. I just think that a second rider doesn't even help. Like, we only win if we get land and can take out this Youthful Knight. So in fact, I'm almost on board with like going with the Outmuscle rider, 2 for 1ing ourselves just to take out. Oh, come on. All right, well. Now if we do this, we go to 10. We threaten to block here. We take up to 6, but then presumably we have a land that we play now, and if we get another land, we can potentially stabilize. So I'm going to fruit here. That's all we got. All right, well, now we are chumping / trying to trade. And Acolyte is actually reasonable because Seasonal Ritual helps us Murderous Rider. And if we draw a land, we can even... If we draw a swamp, we can go Murderous Rider and... through Rosethorn Acolyte, go Murderous Rider and play a Death Toucher. I think we have to do that. We're probably just dead. Like, if we can go on the Veteran, but then we might just be dead. We might just be dead no matter what, but it's hard to pump 4. So I think we got to try and take this trade and potentially survive pump. But if they have 2 pump, we're dead. Looks like it didn't matter where we put the rider. But I think that's is our gravestone. I mean, I guess if we get that swamp, we do get kill youthful, play, but now even the inspiring veteran is lethal. Well, we'll show them what we had. Didn't do anything wrong that game that well, maybe that one time I could have gotten that other creature back, but we were not going to win that one. Everybody pile on Tron. No, we had the nut draw too, except for the lack of lands. Wish you could have seen our hand. I'm sure you can go back and watch the replay. I loved our hand. We just didn't find the lands we needed. Yeah, of course it was. Tron clearly just uses some different... There's no way that Tron 1624 announces he's going to try to pair, and we pair against Tron 1628, and it's... you know... I'm on the verge of banning you, though, Tron. Well, we don't have green yet, but we do have fruit on any mana. We have Deathless Knight in our opener. If we find green, we'll be pretty happy. We do have Reaper. I'm going to keep this basically on the strength of Swamp, Fruit. And we got super lucky to boot. I'll take it. Well, you did right. That was quite... that looks like a great night deck. That would just stomped. I'd love to get food out of this fruit, but with nothing else to do this turn, we're not going to play it cagey. Wow. I wish we could save it with this Carver, but wow. That is bold, Oppo. I mean, they appear to have a ranking that says they know what they're doing, but that was quite the play. This is our stair land, so this is an effective cabin. I'm going to drop a forest in case we find another forest for the Paladin. But with their current situation, we're going to just run out the Deathless Knight. Really want a forest now between Outmuscle and Paladin. Salute you, Oppo. I think the Paladin's big enough here. I wish it were a 5/5, but we're just going to play the Paladin. No, I'm going to draw the Clover, and then we're going to Reaper him. Yeah, we'll start there, and I'm going to attack and then decide what to do after. We could Carver here for some extra damage, but it's the only way to get a 2-turn play. I don't know if it's important, though. I'm going to just save it as a defensive. Yeah, we can use this for an extra couple damage, but they're playing red removal, so actually saving it to save creatures is reasonable as well. Although if we play this, we can't do it. Yeah, I kind of just want to get down the Witch Stalker, right? Like, that was my leaning. I'm going to do that. Uses up all our green, so we actually don't have the Carver ready now, but... oh. Why, East? Why are you so eager to reap the self-mana screwed player with soon-to-be 5 cards, you know? Like, we'll get him. I like applying a pressure to this opponent here. Yeah, we could get back Deathless. That's a great call. Yeah, came close. Close, Tron, but stopped just short. If we go for the Deathless Knight now, it's something to do with our mana. I'll go ahead and do it. I mean, we might not cast the Deathless Knight on our turn, but we can go ahead and get it back here. Murder most foul. And we have Swift End, which is instant. Yeah, we could outmuscle. We don't have a 2-spell turn unless we do Carver stuff again. Let's see. Carver adds 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Attacking them down to 2 seems reasonable. Want to just attack them down to 2? I don't think they can, like, get us from 13 off just a red cap, right? I struggle to see how they kill us from 13 with a red cap, 5 land, and almost anything they can come up with. Yeah, see, congrats. That was quite a slam. Pretty aggro, Tristan, I guess. That was an interesting game. I mean... bold use of those removal spells. But if they were a little bit flooded, if their hand was like, look, I've got 2 of these, the Weasel, and a bunch of land... Yep, that Weasel did do 13 or 14 to my face, but it sure didn't do 20. This is a Cascade Ice organic grapefruit seltzer. I had never brought this brand before, but I'm all about whatever is being sold for $2.50 or less an 8-pack, and this brand was on sale. And it's actually this is my new favorite grapefruit, I think. I really like the grapefruit here. maybe the best grapefruit seltzer I've had. We'll keep this. I didn't soapbox about it. If you remind me after this game, I can try and speak to it and talk about how it came up and how it was discussed. Here is our stair land. So if it were a cabin, we'd play it now to keep it from ET being untapped or tapped. Yeah, more weasels. And Rider, I don't think we bother trading with the Weasel back. If they want to keep pumping, if they want to pump mana into the 1/1 to make it good, that's fine with us. Although that changes my thinking now, because we can't attack into that and we can't really block that until we outmuscle. We don't have... So... Don't love doing this, but they're white-red aggros we saw from Tron. It's no joke, so let's block and trade while we can. Here, I'm going to put out another Rider, and if they don't have a big follow, we can at least crack back. Again, yeah, the meta is not just 100% mill. It's definitely not, you know, we see a lot more white decks, because white is just consistently open. All right, let's see if they do anything to pump here, but we obviously can't make that block. I guess we reap while the reaping is reasonable. We're going to take 5 next turn to do this, but then we can outmuscle the Archon at least. Or we can actually outmuscle the red cap. It's not like it gets double strike during a fight. I just wonder if we can beat the Archon if we don't kill it somehow. But I think we do got to get some cards here while we can against the aggro deck. True Love's Kiss. All right, this is probably a decent card here, but we're going to... Oh, we can't attack. Never mind. Got to go out on your own terms, Tron. Also wanted to show you. Look what I had. I remember a deck where we had 3 of these. It was pretty good. Now we definitely have to kill an Archon, which is stinky. We're going to have to start chumping the red cap. We have a spider and some removal, basically, is all we've got for that situation. Witchstalker at least puts a body in front of the red cap. And can attack with the Rider. Then we go to 6. Then we outmuscle one of the Archons and we go to 3, and then we need to eat our food to avoid dying, and then we need to find removal like in a handful of turns or we're just going to lose. That's true, but outmuscle on the Rider just makes it a 4/2, and then it could trade with the red cap, but not. It would just trade with one of the Archons. If we had extra green, we could give it indestructible, and then it would do what we want. But we don't have that. So I think, yeah, we need to take an unfortunate line, really, and do that. And actually might as well attack with the Rider. They're not going to block. Oh, it costs 2 because... Sorry, I was even remembering that, but now with that, it costs 2 to attack. Yikes. So then the question is, do we want to drop this Foulmire? It doesn't really do anything right now. So I'm going to not play the Death Toucher. I was thinking of doing it anyway because I'm wondering if we ever even want a Profane Insight in this game. Yeah, it's true. It can fight with removal if needed, but I think we already have that. And now they've just got put up nice top deck oppo. Darn it. Like, needed a little help off the top of their library, and instead they've really put us in an unwinnable position. And we can't clear both Archons if they're attacking with them, unfortunately, if you mean the food plan. Yeah. Wildly dead. We could outmuscle and eat food. What does that do for us? I guess we go to 9. I guess we're not dead, so I should do that. What does force blocking the Griffin do? It's got 4 toughness. Oh, because of this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. We get him. Sorry. Good line. So we do this to try and survive. Now we could Foulmire, but it still doesn't do anything for us, so let's end the turn. We could easily get some life back and actually want to do the Profane Insight side, and truly a 1/1 Death Touch just doesn't do anything on this board. Well, that was our last chance. Now we need to see, and here's why I'm glad I kept it. Like, our only out here is to find ourselves Murderous Rider or some other removal spell that I can't remember. So at least we have the insight in our hand to go for it. So I would love that reward to be, although we can't cast it, we die. So it's not even an out. Never mind. Rider's not even an out. It pings us for 2. Spider's an out, though. Good call. Swamp, not an out. All right. They got us again. I don't know. We're making good lines, good plays. We have a good deck. It's been one of those stretches here. We didn't do a par poll on this, but I think we would have voted above 2. We didn't have anything else in our hand that would have made a difference, though. Like, you think Reaping wasn't a good play. I think go back and look and see that, like, you don't get anything by not Reaping. Like, they just had flyers. Again, maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better about a loss, but I don't think not Reaping would have helped us there. This obvious keep. Got our Stair Land again. Yes, if we find the Acolyte before turn 3, if we draw Acolyte next turn, we get turn 3 discard 4. That would be sweet. Is that reasonable though? It's probably greedy to go for that. We should just play a Rider. Like, I mean, I get what you're hoping for, but statistically, we should just play a thing that can beat down here. And play Lucky Clover next turn, and then Reaper the turn after that. Now I'll draw the Acolyte for sure. And, you know, chat loves to laugh at me, so... one in 32 times it works. Dang it. Why does chat have to be right? Let's see. We can still do this, though. Funny. And watch, we'll still get him for 4. Oh no! They even wrecked our combo. Ugh, now my heart hurts. But if we win, I'll take it. Do we want... I think we'll do this. Let them know how lucky they are. Still in a solid spot here, folks. Next turn we get Shield's Might plus Rosethorn. And it would have wrecked them so hard. Oh my god. Alright. Now, unfortunately, Carver doesn't even successfully get a trade off of the Paladin, so I guess we just go Broom and Rosethorn here. Now, I'm not going to double block. If they want to keep attacking, they can. Here we go. Just let's do this. Then they have to start using the wheel every turn. And if they, yeah, as I say, if they keep cards in hand to not launch the Reaper, then we get to Carver that. Looks like they're going to go with the wheel plan here. And it's a good one. We're suddenly up against it unless we can, like, okay, Fruit is interesting because it gives us something to sack for Broom activation. So let's start with Fruit with food. Huh. Swamp. We can do Deathless Knight with Carver, and it almost gets through the Beanstalk Giant, but not quite. We may be close to just push through aggro. We can use the food to distract a giant, potentially for some effect. What's the right line here? 5 mana left, which is enough to create another Broom. Yeah, I think we attack with the Flyer or make him tap down here. Okay, they don't want to do that. I wonder what they're doing with the wheel if not tapping our Reaper. They want Squire and Jousting Dummy. That does give them another blocker, but if they dump their hand next turn, I think we're in a good spot. And it looks like we're getting through for 4 here. Oh, I see what they're doing. No, this actually works okay. Clever, clever. They've gone up to multiple cards in hand. Unfortunately, we have to use Carver in a way we didn't want. But we can save the Reaper. Oh, no, if they put the Giant on it, we can't. I guess we have to let it go, huh? So, yeah, if we Carver here, it's a 6-7, and that loses the exchange. So, good play, Oppo. Didn't see that one coming. Got to let it go. If they come back at us, though, we're not in the worst spot. Get a second Broom and then have all this for the next turn. All right, now we know they have a Squire to untap it, so it's not like that's really tapped. But we also don't have much recourse here but to take it if we want to have any kind of alpha capabilities. And I don't even know what kind of alpha capabilities we really will have, but we're going to figure it out. Griffin, okay. Now they're probably going to drop their other creature, though. Okay, they're going to leave... So they have, with this Silver Flame Squire, they have 3 blockers, so we can figure out that math. I'm going to go ahead and make another Broom. Well, what would it have traded for? It wouldn't have traded for anything. It would have just smashed in and died. All right, now 3 blockers on our 3 big things leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 getting through. That is not 11, but it still may be our best hope. It plus Carver, they had a 7/7. Carver is +2/+2, and that makes a 6/4. That doesn't beat a 7/7. Well, in our, as we were considering that play, James, the Reaper wasn't going to be blocked at all. Like, when we attacked, the Reaper was getting through as a flyer. Remember that. Unfortunately, I don't think we have alpha here, though, but I also think we're now going to lose this game. It's not 11. It's 9. It's 8. If you think it's 11, it's because you're not considering the Silver Flame Squire that we know is in their hand. Yeah. I'm gonna let this... I'm just trying to figure out if we're alphaing down to 3 here. We lose, like, everything they block, so then we end up with just 4 creatures. Eventually, we don't even get the Carver this turn. Maybe we get to eat the Griffin. It's not a great spot, folks. I think we're bombing out of this one, too. If we attack with everything, it's probably our only hope, right? Because if we don't, they get to drop these next turn. We don't have 2 food, and we needed to use 1 food to get another Broom. Yeah, I think we have to do this and hope. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How do we die on the crackback? We gotta try. They're gonna make some blocks, and we can at least take out the Griffin so we don't die on the crackback. Actually, it looks like we can take out the Paladin, and wow, wait, what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, they had outflank, and there was nothing I could have put it on to save from that. Nah, they had it. All right. Couldn't play around anything in their hand. Oppo made some good plays. Got a bit outplayed. I mean, not outplayed in a way I think in the process-oriented mindset would have changed our plays, but they had plays that beat our plays, even if our plays were reasonable. The one thing, as I quickly threw that +2/+2, I immediately thought, oh, maybe I should have found the highest toughness thing, and then sure enough, they did have the outflank, but we had to. I don't think there was no other creature to put it on that would have made a difference. Blah. Quite a crappy run. Frustrating. But it just has to be frustrating in the variance kind of way. I don't want to say it's like nothing can be done about it, because that's just trying to make yourself feel better. There's many draft picks in there that we could have made differently that might have made a difference, and some plays too. But ultimately, I don't feel like we're just drafting or playing ridiculously bad and suffering the consequences. We're just getting super unlucky in the variance. Yeah, I blame Tron. If Tron had just let us pair up against someone without the amazing skills that people develop while watching this stream, then I'm sure we would still be playing right now. So Tron's fault.